So Elon Musk wants all your health information.
For what?
Well, he says it's going to help you, and he wants it in his, chatbot Grok.
Help you?
That's what Elon Musk
How?
said. Yeah. So here's the thing. It's funny. Everyone's talking about should you give your information to Elon Musk. Elon Musk's own chatbot, when asked should you give information to it, it's like
Yeah.
no.
That's
So
really, really personal
Yeah.
information.
Yeah.
Super personal information. Actually, even if insurance company, they need your sign signature
that's a good
for
point. That's a good point.
to open your health information.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that was actually mentioned by his own chatbot is that they're not under normal like doctor rules or health rules because normally there's you're correct. There's rules and that stuff. You got to sign your name on it. Other concerns is Elon Musk's platform. Elon Musk says you can get a second opinion from his chatbot, right? Is what is but other people have been saying this is real with his thing. His AI is often wrong on stuff.
Just often.
Well, you can say all the time, I guess too. This is actually a true story. So today he's been tweeting a lot of stuff lately because he's kind of freaking out because he's losing the AI race. But today he was bragging that his AI has a different version of history than other AIs. Like that they're bragging about that.
History means the fact, true. It's not really opinion. You can really have different history than others.
Well, okay, I get what you're saying. So the way that they did it is like how, okay, so the example that not everyone, he was using was, did the white people basically take the land from the Native Americans, from the, Indians, right? And so his chatbot, out of all of them, I guess, he was bragging like, our chatbot says, no, it's not stolen, right? And all the other chatbots is like, yeah, it's definitely stolen, right? and then they had another one where like, I guess his chatbot's like, it's not stolen if you take it by military, like you conquered it. And it was just kind of yeah, but it's not. No, do you see what I'm saying? Like it's not a great way to teach people history. Well, the white people had more weapons and more disease, and therefore they took the land. But yeah, there's factual stuff. White people, have the land, and then opinion can be like, do they admit they did something wrong or not? And so that's the kind of stuff. So the medical stuff would be, Musk will tweet all sorts of like stuff that maybe, for example, should I take my vitamins or whatever, right? And these chatbots then can now start advertising new products. So there's a bunch of ethical considerations with this, like, right? Like which vitamin is the best, or, right?
Yeah, it's all about money, right?
Oh, absolutely, it's about money.
And I think, when you mentioned the medical information, and you can add your selfie too, then they can see your, like check your atmosphere.
Yeah.
Match with your health information.
So here's the other issue you got to be careful if you give your information to Elon Musk. If they don't have the proper protections in place, which they kind of don't, it was released recently, or actually not released, Musk tweeted out recently that basically they don't have any safety teams at his companies.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Be it a car company, space company, or he's like...
Because he's claiming that, we don't have any safety issues, so we don't have to have a safety team. No. We're so safe, so we don't need a safe team.
Yeah. So he was like, oh yeah, Tesla's the safest car, so blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He also said that because everyone's job is safety, then we don't need a safety team.
What do you mean everyone's job safety?
You're right. So people made the joke of like, when you say stuff like that, when you say like everyone's job is this, that means that's no one's job. Yeah. So part of the safety thing, there's a bunch to consider, but if you don't protect people's data with the chatbots, then you could easily find it on Google, right? Theoretically. And so like you could just search something and it's like, oh, well, what is this information? And then like you mentioned the picture stuff, right?
Yeah.
That would be a thing as well. So right now we are wrestling with so many AI issues, and true story, we're actually on holiday right now here in Korea.
New Year.
Yeah, it's the New Year all throughout Asia. And it's funny because in USA they call it Chinese New Year, but we wouldn't refer to it that way.
Lunar New Year.
Yeah. So just to be aware of that, in Asia it's just really actually Lunar New Year. And I actually asked your cousins, JD's cousins, about AI stuff because I think almost all your cousins are in coding or some sort of computer stuff.
Yeah, Chinese programmer.
Right,
So
right,
he
right.
just had a project with a Hyundai.
Oh, okay.
And normally he takes those kind of job takes a month, but he finished it 2 days.
Yeah, but I don't know if you should tell your work that or
No,
not.
no. Of course he said.
Finish
Of
in 2
course
days, and
not.
then you'll
And,
still take a month.
Yeah, but you just give them very little bit of the what he did.
And people watching are probably shaking their head. They
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
talking about, right? Because the problem with work is if you finish early, they just give you more work, right? And it's a weird function of working in a big company that it's like
Yeah.
that. But basically, long story short, I guess he's using ChatGPT.
Very well.
And Yeji's sister also
And
uses
plus,
it. Also, what's
plus
that?
he's not even using the paid one.
Oh, he's using the free one.
Free one.
Interesting.
And he said even if he using the paid one, that's another advanced
Sure.
level.
Because I think the way these things work is you have like your basic service for free, and then you maybe limit how much you can use it or limit the capability, and you pay more and you get more capability. So there are people using that stuff. Her cousin, it's your cousin, is one. Another cousin, I think he's in coding also.
He's coding.
Yeah, I was asking about it, and it was interesting. So he was unaware of this whole open clock craze. I don't know if you know about what this thing is. It's just last week the first time I heard about it. So it's basically these AI agent things, okay? And the idea of the agent, it's different than Siri. It's more like you can automate tasks and have it do stuff for you. So for example, have it answer your email, right? So because Siri, you could say, hey. I don't want to say it because it'll answer, but you can tell it, hey, check my email, and it'll say, okay, this is your email. Please read my email, like that kind of function. But like we're getting at the point where you can automate. Like I'm using email as an example, right?
Sure.
They could just reply or whatever. And so then a lot of people these days now, this whole open cloud thing. This was last week. First they made that like that social media, like the robots talk to each other. And then now all these people are like, oh, I'm using all these robots to do various tasks. And then put all this together, I have a company. That's what all these kids are claiming at the moment. And it's so your cousin wasn't really aware of that stuff. I'm just mentioning it because like I'm curious, like how widespread do people know that these AI agents are coming, right?
Yeah, then maybe only few people using it because other people don't know how and don't care. So probably who can use those kind of systems, they're gonna only make money, I guess.
Well, here's the thing. At the moment, they're all losing money.
Because too much competition?
What's that?
Too much
No, because right now on social media, like this is all new, right? People are posting like how much money they're spending on this stuff. So like everyone's buying Apple right now. It's the funniest crap. So right now, Apple's the big winner at the moment. Because they're like, oh, hey, I just bought a new Mac Mini, or I just bought a new Mac Studio. And then like one dude recently, he's just like, hey, I just spent $10,000 on this stuff, right? So because he's buying, because like basically I think you put one little agent thing in each computer, basically,
I see.
right? And then you say, oh, I have like 10 robots, I have 10 computers, and they run 24/7.
Yeah.
And so what's dangerous about this stuff though is that you're giving it access, but then the ability to actually make action. Right? So Siri can actually read all my crap, right? It can hear my voice all the time also, but it doesn't have like the authority to just write an email, phone call someone or that kind of stuff. But if you automate this thing, what some people do, one guy I talked about on the channel before, he's like, I'm gonna go bankrupt. Because it's every time you use the agent, it costs money to use it. And so if you have it running all the time, it'll just burn through your credit.
I see.
And then it'll refill automatically with your credit card, right? That kind of thing. So that's going on there. And then there's a whole bunch of other issues of like, if you download this stuff, because people who don't know anything about computers are Googling, oh, how do I use the agent thing? And then you can download like basically scammy crap on your computer, and other people can hack all your info. So be very, very careful out there. And that's why I started with, should you give your information to Elon Musk?
Yeah, of course no.
Of course no, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that's really interesting with this stuff as well, because we're talking about like how much do regular people know about it. So actually, regular people may not know the agent thing because that's relatively new, but they know about the data center situation.
Sure.
Right.
Because it causes you you feel like when you talk of AI, so it feels like clean and you don't use energy, but data center, no, it causes a lot of pollution.
Right, right. So the big thing that people are worried about right now is what's going to happen to my air and my water.
Water.
Yeah, and this is interesting because in many communities they're having like this big meeting, town hall meeting to talk to the mayor. Why are you building a data center? What's going on with that?
It's usually it happens when they want to build we say 소각장, the area you dump your trash. Those kind of stuff, right?
Well, you need cheap land.
Sure.
I mean,
and
I see.
cheap land, and people don't live next to it.
Well, here's the thing. It all depends, okay? So Elon Musk is a different situation than other companies. So other companies tend to build them in these kind of smaller areas, kind of away from the big city. Elon Musk is targeting big city.
Why?
Well, the advantage would be that there's more roads there, there's more power there. Because if I build a data center, everything depends. Everything's different. But if you build a data center, say, way out in the middle of nowhere, it's harder to run power to that place, right?
The first cost is higher because as you mentioned, you need to build the road first.
Oh yeah, sure. The initial cost. Yeah, so if you build a more established area, then it's easy. The infrastructure is already there. So he's building in Memphis, Tennessee. And there's already a lot. Well, I think this is the second lawsuit now, or something like that. They're basically pissed off, which I completely understand. So one would be people are concerned about their air and water, and then the number two concern is they're concerned about their energy going up, because it's going to go up. It's going to go up.
Even some cities, they don't even have electronic city for AC.
Yeah.
Just regular light, right?
Yeah. This is what's crazy about this whole sort of AI craze is. Elon always claims we're all going to be rich and everything's going to be great, right? And we just got to go to the moon to do that. But if he was really concerned about people, let's say, for example, Texas, or it's not just Texas, but many states in the USA, they actually just don't have enough power. They run out of power every winter. You hear about blackouts and stuff like that. Or even if you do have power, it's so expensive. It's hard to run it all the time.
Yeah.
There's so many problems with this stuff. It's just wild, And then the other issue, there's always issues, right? So we talked about air, water. We talked about energy rates going up. People are really concerned about just losing their job.
Sure. I just mentioned, maybe, how can I say?
What's that?
It's a 20 days job. He finished the 2 days, my cousin.
Sure.
So that means you can contact, out of 10 people, you just need one person.
Yeah, and that's the big concern, because here's the reality. So in the past, just for example, if you're a CEO or whatever, you would have a secretary, and maybe you would talk to her, and she would write, or him, could be him, right? And they would write the letter for you, and then draft it and do all that stuff, right? But that job is gone now. What's that?
Yeah, funny thing is, in Korea, maybe. Other country too. The shaman is really popular.
The shaman?
Shaman.
Okay. So shaman would be like a fortune teller kind of thing?
Fortune teller, yeah, kind of thing. But these days, people ask the, AI. So their job is kind of going down.
That is pretty funny. Well, it's similar to a Google situation, but I mean, okay, in your opinion, how is Google or Naver is the Korean Google, but how is that different than, say, a chatbot, in your opinion?
What do you mean?
Like the way you use it.
But Naver, they have AI too these days.
Well, they do now.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, okay, so just
Naver, we just ask the personal opinion, actual people's opinion. Sometimes you have we cold cafe. There's a blog. You ask something. People actually write a comment. People's comment. But AI is cool one, just comment.
Yeah. So the thing I'm getting at is when you originally search something on Google, like which car should I buy or what pair of socks should I buy, it would list a bunch of articles and you decide to read whatever, right? Korean's version, Naver, from the very beginning. Was it from the very beginning, or was that relatively new? Would they send you to the blogs? Was that part of Naver from the very beginning?
Yeah, not send you. There's blog and comment.
Right, not send you, but they would list a bunch of blogs. I think maybe Yahoo might have done that stuff way back when. But the reason why I bring this up is because like when you get information, where is it coming from? So Google would list you articles, and at the time probably companies get the preference, and then Naver would always have like a blog section, so you'd get like someone's opinion,
Yeah.
and then some blogger people it's kind of like YouTube in a way, be more popular than others. Okay, so the chatbot thing though is what I want to get at was different than Google. Is for many people it feels like your friend. That's why when you mentioned the shaman thing, like many people are treating it like their friend or things. And so what the companies are doing these days, they're trying to change the language so that you think it's a relationship and that you're addicted to this thing and you ask it for everything. So the shaman was a really good example because basically you ask shaman for advice and stuff like that. Because like Google, I never thought I had a relationship with Google, even though you'd use Google. We all use Google. I Googled this, I Googled that, but it's not like a relationship. And so then, kind of what we're then talking about is this overall, AI thing, is how do we understand what is happening now, and then like what's going to happen in the future. And so every day, guys, we just want to try to explain the news to you guys and have real opinions like real people and try to keep things human.
Yeah, so you can sometimes not correct, it doesn't
Happens.
make sense.
Yeah, because we're human. Whereas the robot will give you sort of the answer that they think they want you to hear, because remember the whole goal is to keep you coming back. And so then one of the algorithms of the AI these days, or the chatbots, is to always compliment you.
Yeah.
Always say, "Oh, you're doing a good job," blah blah blah. No, seriously, like, "Oh, that's a great idea," right? And so it's all about addiction. And then the other big one is how can I say, time on the platform. Basically, is sort of what they're going for. So anyway, we'll keep up you guys up on this stuff. Just want to hear your thoughts, share our thoughts, and we'll catch you on the next video. So, bye.